This video covers the fit of our double and triple vamp Russell boots, specifically those that have a heel counter, which is a lasted piece of oak leather that goes around the back of your heel to lock your foot in place. This would be models like the Backcountry, the Gustin Bird Shooter, as well as the South 40 and Big Cambo. The first thing you're going to want to do when you get it at home is try it on in a carpeted space so that you don't damage the boot in the case that you need to send it back for an exchange. The first thing that I do is make sure it's laced down and that it's not tight at all, especially here at the bottom. I'll then put it on. Once you get your foot into the boot, it's helpful to pull up on the gusset to make sure that it's not overly bunched up on your sock on the inside of the boot. And the other thing I do is I kind of push down the back of my heel to make sure that my foot is all the way back into the back of the heel counter. Once that's done, I'll then take the laces and I take the gusset and make sure that it's folded out of the way and start tightening the laces. These first three laces are the most important laces in the entire boot as it forms the structure of the fit. You should feel as you start to lace that up that it starts pulling up on the underside of your arch, and it should tighten like a belt on the midfoot while it leaves the front of your foot free to move. When you get up to the lacing studs, it's helpful to press that gusset back until it's trained into place. And then at the top, just tie a quick overhand or double overhand knot. Once you have the boot on, what you want to be looking for is first and foremost, does it fit properly around the arch and midfoot? Is it too snug or too tight here? Or like this boot, does it feel just right? What I'm feeling for here is that I've got a little bit of give, but primarily it's fairly snug, especially around the arch of the foot. I'm looking at the lacing and it's fairly evenly spaced, meaning that it's not tightening in too much on one side or the other, which would mean it would be too small, or too broad out, meaning that the boot is too small. When you look down at the front of the boot, you want to be able to see that it's not too tight here on the front of the foot. And when you place your foot down, you want to be able to lift up your toe and wiggle those toes around to make sure that the forefoot is not too snug. At the very end of the boot, you want to be able to be around 1/4 to 1/2 inch from the inside of the hand seam. The end of my toenail is somewhere right in here, which is just about perfect. The heel counter on the back side of the boot will be a little bit snug, especially when you get a brand new pair of boots that hasn't been broken in yet. As long as it's not too tight or pinching tight, this will break in within 24 to 48 hours of wear. When you stand up, it's best to stand up and feel the inside of the boot, wiggle your toes around, lift your heel up, and try flexing the boot, making sure that your heel doesn't lift up out of place, that everything's locked in. If you do feel any heel lift, make sure those first three laces, those three eyelets that we talked about in the beginning of the video, are snugged down tight. Most of the case, that's where the problem lies. As long as the boot doesn't feel overly snug, or you don't feel your heel popping up out of the back of the boot, you know that you've got the right fit and you're ready to head off. And that's how you properly lace up your double or triple vamp Russell moccasin.